Hello again. So in this third video, what we're going to do is, well, actually, no, the fourth video, I think this is. What we're going to do, we're going to talk about this video from class. So before we begin, like I said in the first class, my strategy is that we spend the first hour of class talking about the exam, different strategies we can use during the exam, and of course, the format of the exam. In the second half of the class, I'm more interested in building up your vocabulary and your ability to express your ideas using debate. Okay? So, my idea is that we will take maybe a video, maybe a short reading, and we will use it as a springboard for more discussion in class about complex topics. Last week, we talked about generational change. Generational change is a common topic on the APTIS C1 exam. This week, we're going to talk about medicine. In theory, we've already talked about medicine because we have talked about social distancing and the virus, no? So that's a part of medicine. In this second part of the class, we're going to talk about medicine and technology and how they work together, okay? So what I'm going to ask you to do is to please watch this video titled Video from Class, Transhumanism. I recommend that you watch this video. You can stop and watch the video. I would also underline the fact that this video series from BBC Ideas is absolutely excellent. It's excellent, excellent, excellent for learning vocabulary and learning about different concepts that are frequently on the APTIS exam. I think all of the videos that they recommend are excellent, excellent, excellent for you to start getting vocabulary for the C1 exam. The complex, difficult vocabulary. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to watch this video. You can watch it once. Maybe you should watch it twice since it is a little bit complicated. And then after you watch the video, we will have a discussion about it. Okay? So as usual, I'll give you a 5-second countdown so you can pause the video and watch this YouTube video called Will Humans Evolve to Something Smarter? Okay? So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, take a stab at the video, and I'll see you in the next part. Okay, now that you've paused the video and you've come back, we're going to look at this concept, transhumanism. Now, I'm going to admit to you, I did not know the meaning of the word transhumanism when I did not know the meaning of this word until I saw it in a C1 textbook. It's not something that I had ever seen or studied. But we do have some things that we can do. When we have a word that we don't know, we can break the word into its different parts. This green part, the prefix. This red part is a root. And this blue part is an affix. And these different pieces give meaning to a word. Let's see, what do you think ism means? What does human mean? And what does trans mean? I'll give you a few seconds to think about it before I tell you the answer. What would you guess is the meaning of this word based on the prefix, the root, and the affix, ism? What could this mean? Let's take a look. The prefix trans means to go across. Think of the word transport. When we transport something, we bring it across. It suggests movement. Human is a person. This is the root of the word. We use ism to denote an ideology. Examples like feminism, capitalism, communism. When we want to distinguish an ideology, we use the ism root. So, in that sense, we can say that transhumanism is the ideology about going beyond what is human. Okay? And that's what we see in the video. Transhumanism is about robots and humans being integrated as one entity. Video calls them humans 2.0. Okay? So, what I want to ask you is this. I would like you to think and consider different problems raised by the video. I've outlined some of them. Some of the problems that we have include human frailty. Human frailty is another way of saying human weakness. Video has a very negative view of humans. Observe that I'm identifying the author's opinion. Humans are very weak and cause a lot of problems. The video talks about war, famine, ecological damage, and discrimination. These are some problems that humans have. Humans are also physically weak. Their brains degenerate, degrade, and diminish. They become weaker over time. People are increasingly likely is another word for probable, get dementia. Okay? So as people get older, they get it's more likely that they will get dementia. This being the case, some scientists think that it's desirable or even inevitable that humans will begin integrating themselves with technology and robots. A good thing to think about is whether you think this is a good or a bad thing. It can be good in some senses and bad in others. What I'd like you to do is to take a few seconds to write for yourself some pros and cons about transhumanism. Okay? And it's your personal opinion. You can take inspiration from the video, but I want you to think about your own opinion. What are the arguments for and against transhumanism? If you want to pause the video, you can pause the video and write on a piece of paper the different pros and cons. If not, I will just simply tell you what I think are some pros and cons. Remember that for the Aptis C1 speaking exam, it's important that you can generate your own opinions, your own lists of pros and cons for the speaking section of the exam. Okay? This is what I decided for myself. The pros include increased human efficiency. So for example, if I can take a little chip and put it in my brain, I can learn a language very, very quickly. I can go from having no skill in the language to having the C2 in a language just because of the chip. So that's something positive. We can make people less emotional. Human beings are very emotional, and this creates a lot of problems. We can use technology to reduce people's emotions, allow people to handle the emotional vicissitudes. Vicissitude is when things go up and down of life. Now, the negatives, cons. It's a little bit scary and apocalyptic. The idea that we might be integrated with robots sounds like it's the end of the world. Have you ever seen the film Terminator, for example? If you've seen the film Terminator, you know this might not end so well. We should be careful. And another con is that there's no evidence that robots would be more just or even more efficient than humans. For example, this is an excellent example. My computer, which is a machine, has incorrectly recorded this class 3 times. I did it perfectly fine the first time as a human being. Google Translator is not better than the human brain translating language. So it's not clear, it's not evident that robots would be more just than humans. If you were asked whether you think that this is a good idea, that we start employing transhumanism, you could make an argument using these pros and these cons. Again, this is an important skill for the Aptis C1. We also could open a debate about the inevitability and desirability of transhumanism. Is it inevitable, meaning we will eventually do this no matter what? Or is it desirable? Is this something that we want? Maybe we're going to do it, but is it desirable and positive? Okay? So, these are some questions that I might have you think about. Have we already started integrating robots with human beings? For example, humans use pacemakers. A pacemaker is a little device that we implant in your chest so that your heart beats regularly. So this is an example of humans and robots already being integrated. We also use smart technology when we make limb replacements. This allows the limb replacements to be more effective. Finally, we also can help the blind and the deaf to become seeing and hearing by use of technology. Many people who are deaf have a cochlear implant where they have an implant on their ear, a chip in their brain that allows them to hear. The same is true of people who are blind. They're experimenting with technology that will help blind people become seeing. Okay? So the idea that we might suggest is that transhumanism might be inevitable for the mere fact that we already are becoming increasingly transhuman. Our mobile phones are, at the end of the day, attached to us. Okay? We use our mobile phone, and in fact, without our mobile phone, we don't even function as human beings anymore. So this might be a good suggestion for saying that we are already becoming transhuman. So what I want you to see is that these sorts of problematiques, these sorts of problems, raise moral questions that are inevitable in a discussion about technological innovation. These types of complex moral and ethical questions are very useful to consider for the Aptis exam. It's very important to consider them and to use them to generate ideas for what you want to say when they ask you different questions. There are many common topics on the Aptis. They might ask you ethical questions concerning art, ethical questions concerning medicine, or ethical questions concerning technological innovation, medical innovation. That's what we've talked about today. So I hope in this video, I've helped you to think about how we can generate arguments for the Aptis speaking section of the exam. Moreover, I hope that you have been able to learn some new vocabulary words as we've discussed this very advanced topic. Okay? So in the next video, I believe you will see what actually recorded during our session last Tuesday. So it should have recorded. So I hope that you enjoy the rest of the discussion. I will see you in the next class. Bye.